Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get started into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in the bio section of social media. Just going over the economic calendar this week, I do see Powell is scheduled to testify Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I would write that down and be aware of that. Tuesday, 2 p.m. that Powell is going to testify. So the market could have a reaction to that. And we have some PMI numbers on Wednesday morning. So nothing too substantial except for those couple things. So make a note of it and be aware of the times. Now, I have a lot more on the bearish side than I have on the bullish side. I'll start with the bullish side because I only have a couple. One is CAT. CAT has just been getting hammered on. I would think at this point, I've been watching it for a while, thinking we're going to have a dead cat bounce. No pun intended, but I thought we were going to have it back here. It didn't. It just got clobbered more. So I would be watching it over, I'd say 211 for a push to the 217 area. Then you get the 220 right here. And 221, 225 would be a big psychological number. I think you'd have to look at the daily. You get resistance right here, 225. 230. So I think CAT is going to have a strong move. I'm not sure which day, but also going to be aware of the ICT trend line is down at the 188 level, and it likes to come back down and test that. I mean, CAT has been having a massive run, and I've been watching it for a while for a short, and just didn't. I missed that boat, but I know a couple people in the room did get it, so congrats to them. But I would be looking for a dead cat bounce this week on CAT at least. Tesla is another one. Let's see. TSLA. Now Tesla, keep looking at the weekly. It's holding this RCT trend line right here. It's getting a ascending wedge on the weekly and on the daily. It gets over this 630 area. It's probably going to push to 670. Then you get 700. I mean, it hasn't gotten over 700 in a while since May 7th. So it's been a while since it's been in 700 or above 700. So it could make a strong push to 700 if it gets over the 630 area. So I'd watch the 635. Then after that, it's gonna probably push to 650, 660. Then you get like 700. So 700 would be the big psychological number on Tesla. So watch that DLTR. Oops, I spelled that wrong. DLTR. There we go. Dollar Tree. I mean, sending wedge right here on the sending triangle on the daily. It gets over this 102 area. That's been the area it's been getting rejected or just below 102. It gets over that, it's probably more than likely going to fill a gap to 107. So I'd watch for a gap fill over 102 on Dollar Tree. Now on the bearish side, Roku. I think Roku's going to pull back this week. I know a lot of people are bullish on it, and a few reasons why I'm looking at this short is get old indicators right here, but I'll just leave them up. The weekly and the daily, you see right here, you get this trend line right there, goes into the 380 level, and 380 is got a strong resistance right here. So you got the number and you got the trend line right at 380. So I think that if it does manage to get up to that area, it's probably going to end up rejecting. But I keep looking at that. It has trouble staying over this 370, and it chopped up here, then it got smashed, and it could end up seeing the same thing. I mean, it's outside the Kellner channel on the hourly, and also have a bearish divergency. You get this high right here, and it's made a slightly higher high, but yet the RSI has made a lower high, so you get a bearish divergence going on right there. And I would definitely keep an eye on Roku below 365 for push to 350, 355. Then you got obviously 350 is going to be a big psychological number. Probably you could say 355, 350, and then you got this area right here at 345. Basically every $5 is big resistance right here. I mean support right here. So 340, and you can even see 335 and 330. I mean, I know a lot of people are bullish on Roku, and you know it could end up breaking out, but I just don't know. I just don't think Roku can get the momentum going. It just gets shut down as soon as it starts going. I mean, right here I got a push, and it got slapped down pretty harshly. So I'm expecting that the same thing will probably happen this week. So I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see Roku below 330 this week. So we'll have to see if that actually happens. Disney is another one. Now Disney, I keep looking at this head and shoulders on the weekly. I always keep looking at this left head, right shoulder. I mean, it gets below this. We'll go under Friday's lows of 172. Then you're gonna have support right here in the 170. 168 now. You got gap support. Oh, it's 137. Where is the gap? Let's see if I can bring this out a little more. Bring it out 9 months. Yeah, you get this gap support right here at the 167 area. If it does manage to, you can see it didn't really fill the gap. It partially filled it. So if it does get below 167, it could try to find a bottom right here at 162. But gap close is going to be down in the 157 area. So I would watch it underneath 172 for a push down to 167. Next one is Costco. Now Costco has been one that's like been very, very strong. But to me, it's stalling out in this 380 area. 385, 388, and it's just been chopping. It rejected it over here, and it tried to get over there, and it couldn't break out. And I've been watching for a breakout, and it hasn't. But it's got nice consolidation. I mean, if it does manage to get over 380, 388, this thing could take off to $390, $400, no problem. So you'd have to watch both sides of Costco, but I would also watch underneath the 380 level for 378, 376, and for a push to 371. And you also have, 368 right here, and then you have 360, 361. So I don't know if Costco would drop that much, but I would definitely watch for a bounce at the RCT trend line on the daily, which is the 370 level. So it is, like I said, it's just consolidating in this range. So if it does end up breaking out, it's probably going to end up being a strong move. So I'll be watching it in both directions, but just got to be open-minded that Costco could make a big move. It could be up or down, and you just got to know the levels and know what to watch for and stuff like that. So McDonald's is another one. Now McDonald's, it's just been chopping in this area, and it had a big candle, a weekly candle, bearish engulfing on the weekly. So it did try to bounce off the RCT trend line right here, but if it does break Friday's 229 low, I would watch for a push to 227, 226. Then you get 225, which is a big psychological number. Then you get 221, 220. And then you get 215. So now I would think that it would possibly try to bounce in this 215 area if it does manage to get down that far. But we'll have to see if McDonald's will actually drop that much. Now NVDA is another one. I know NVDA has been going crazy lately, except for Friday. Friday it sold most of its gains, and it's just it's outside the weekly Keltner channel on the weekly. I mean, anytime it does get a full body out, it ends up coming back down. So it could be a volatile week for Netflix. I mean, as you can see, look at the RSI on the daily. The RSI on the daily is like 75-ish plus. So I would watch it underneath 740 for a push to 720, even 700. So it might try to bounce at 700. If it doesn't, you get this 690, 680 area, and then you get this area right here at 645, 650. Now remember, support and resistance is not an exact number, it's an area. So we'll have to see if NVDA will actually come back down. I mean, the weekly candle doesn't look too bad, but I think that when the full body of the candles get outside on the weekly, it ends up coming back in. So especially on the daily, I mean, look at all these days right here. Let me just back it out, just me blow up right here. You have a few days right here, and it's been outside, almost full body candles outside of Kelvin channel ever since the 1st of June. So I would not be a bit surprised if we at least come back down and test this 705, 700 area to even possibly down to 650. So we'll have to see if NVIDIA will pull back. But if the semiconductor demand gets worse, I mean, NVIDIA probably could keep going. So, but just have to keep an eye on that. That Friday candle was definitely a bearish sign for NVIDIA. Well, it's a topping tail. We'll have to see if it actually has continuation or not. So that's why I've got it on the short side list because of the topping candle and the extreme RSI range on the daily. So next one is Facebook. Now Facebook, it's kind of stalling out right in this 330, 340 area, and it's just been consolidating on the daily. But it just, let me just blow up the weekly a little bit. It's even get two topping tail candles right here, side by side. One's green, and inverted hammer or whatever, and this one's red. So if the market's weak this week, we could see a short on Facebook below. We'll say 228 for push to 328, sorry, to 325. Then you get this 320 area. Then after that, you get this, you get 320 right there. And then you got 315, 310, even down to possibly 305, 300. So we'll have to see if Facebook will actually pull back. We could end up seeing a move something like this right here, or like this. So it's quite possible we can get back to 300 on Facebook. So keep an eye on that. BABA is another one. BABA, I mean, it's just making lower highs on the daily and weekly. You can see it just keeps making lower highs, meaning high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and it's just getting pushed. Get like a descending wedge going on right here. So you can draw a line right there. And you can see it's pushing down and a descending wedge pattern right there. If you want to call it from right there, from right here, or whatever, it doesn't really matter. But I would watch it underneath 210, and underneath 210 you get this 205 area. So underneath 205, I'm gonna have to go to the weekly. 200 be a big psychological number. This is where it tried to bounce at 200. What was the low on that one? 204. So it didn't get quite down to 200, but it does get down to 200. It could try to bounce right then and there. And if it does manage to break 200, next area is this 194 and 195 area. Then you got 185 and 180. So BABA could go down a little more. I mean, it's getting like a bullish divergence going on, or on the histogram right there. I mean, it's flattening out, but histogram is going up. So I mean, it could try to reverse, but I still think if the market's weak, BABA could end up getting crushed a little more. So we'll have to see what happens on that. Now, like I said, we have Powell speaking, and the market conditions are getting a little extreme. Now VIX is the weekly. It's starting to push up. You got a nice big green candle on the VIX. I mean, if the VIX gets over this 22 area, it's probably going to end up taking off. So I would definitely be watching VIX for a possible drop. Now, we haven't really had that much of a significant drop in SPY in a while, so I would not be surprised to see if we do manage to get below 400 and possibly fill this gap, which we have right here on the daily. Blow it up right here. We have a gap right here, right above 400 and right around under 400. So small gaps, but this one's a pretty bigger gap, this 402 area. So I would like to see SPY pull all the way back to 400, but what SPY will do is two different things. We'll just have to see what happens. Now I was looking at the CPCE, which is the put to call ratio chart, and whoops, trying to pull it up right now just to get a glimpse of what it looks like. And I think I remember when I looked at it yesterday, it was the put to call ratio was pretty high. Yeah, it's 0.56 right now, so we could possibly even see a short squeeze maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, so I would keep an eye out for that. But I would like to see SPY come back and retest this 400 level, but like I said, who knows if it will happen or not. So that's going to do it for the watch list. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hope to see you in the room. And thanks for watching.